Hey, I'm Chelsea, and here's your weekly announcements. First up, we have an announcement from our board.
Hello, congregation of EFCL. It is a new year, and we as a board have been spending some time reflecting on this past year while praying through our next steps. We don't want to miss out on what God is teaching us and how He is working. We want to take time to reflect on what God has been doing. I was challenged by our superintendent, Trevor Brawdy's message and the messages from our own staff. We have been challenged to lean into the fact that we are a people in need, and our only claim should be to boast in the cross. Christ willingly laid down His life. Our calling is to take up our cross and follow Him. There is much to be thankful for. Thank you for your giving. Our congregation has faithfully given, and we are meeting our spending. COVID is a difficult time, but our spending is under control, and your giving is keeping up with spending. As we approach the end of 2021, our prayer was that we would again, as is our practice, have our giving catch up with our expenditures. Thank you for your faithful act of worship and commitment to EFCL. Finances are not equal to faithfulness, but they are a sign of commitment and priorities. Thank you. It was such an encouragement to see the response to Advent Consipracy. Your decision to give approximately $108,000 to ShareWord Global and the Canadian Foodgrains Bank was huge. These organizations do life-changing work, and your commitment to this was such an encouragement. Advent Consipracy has always been an act that EFCL has done together. This corporate act of sacrifice and celebration has been an annual sign for us working together as a body. Thanks again for your commitment. Attendance. We don't want to just count seats because we're about changed lives, not just filling seats. That being said, there is value in monitoring our attendance. We consistently have over 550 people in services every Sunday. And I know there are many more that would like to attend but aren't comfortable because of COVID. We are thankful for our online participation as well. Every week there are about 780 hits and 180 hours of viewing in the first 2 days following service. In-person attendance and online participation mean that well over 800 people are hearing about Christ's call on their lives every week. Sunday services. Our preaching schedule is full and has been powerful. Our lead team and guests have been inspiring and faithful to push us to know Christ more. Our worship is God-centered, and we have seen such creativity over the Christmas season. Our tradition service attendance is consistent, and the group there has been so faithful. I am so grateful for them. Church at 6 continues to meet people where they are at with a real authenticity. Small groups. We continue to have small groups meeting made up of seniors, young adults, youth, and families. These groups are able to care for each other and to spur each other on through this season. These groups make cards for senior centers, serve at the soup kitchen, learn about the call on their lives to be disciples, and intentionally build bridges into our community. God is working both in and through them. Membership class. We currently have 15 people waiting for a membership class that is set to go in February. These people are committed to our congregation and want to learn more about how to support and journey with our church. COVID protocol. This has been hard, and we know we haven't done everything right, but our balance of respect for our governing authorities, love for those who are working on the front lines, care for individuals whose health is compromised, and the desire to try to imitate Christ has been consistent. There have been hard decisions, and I know some congregants have left, but I applaud our staff for navigating all of this. COVID has been hard, but our focus remains on the call of Christ upon our lives, individually and corporately. More than anything, we stand in confidence that God knows this season and desires to lead our steps. It is interesting how people are wrestling with attending church and its place in their lives. We know many are enjoying online services and don't see a need to return to the church building. These are journeys that we need to wrestle with together. It is thrilling to hear of all God is doing through our young adults ministry. The conversations are rich and honest, especially as they gather in a meeting they call the Deeper. Young adults are finding a place to belong and wrestle through these important questions. We know that families with young children are wrestling with their own picture of the church gathered. Some of these young children have had very little exposure to the gathered body of Christ. Decisions have to be made regarding how their families will be involved with the gathered church. It is a reset of practice and priorities rather than a continuation of habits. We as a board have been meeting regularly and are so encouraged by many examples of God's grace and blessing in our midst. We are also continuing to meet with staff and congregants to learn. Over these next days, we are looking to determine the best transition for our church. We first want to ensure our team is healthy. There is still much pain, and we are working to resolve this and care for our staff. We really don't think it would be wise to bring a lead in without some evaluation of the health of our team. We are moving quickly to do this and to help with the transition. We are praying lots, and God has shown himself to us over and over through this journey. We are grateful. We are hopeful. We are excited to see where he chooses to move us next. Please pray with us as we determine the next best steps. Thanks from your board.
Spice Up January was a huge success. Together, we filled the giving box in the lobby to overflowing.
Chelsea, how many spices are in here?
There are millions of spices. Thank you. Now we're headed into Food for Families for the month of February. Our goal is to provide the groceries for 30 Wham bags, weekend and more bags for the Lethbridge School Division. These bags will be given to families in need within our city who need a helping hand. We've received the list of groceries for the March bags, and our goal is to fill the entire list. You can go to our website to see the grocery list, as well as pick up paper copies at the info desk. We'll also keep a running tally of how many of each item we've collected. Let's do this, church family. This Sunday is Dave's last Sunday. Join us on site or online as we hear him preach and celebrate the Acres time with our E-Free family. We are holding child dedications on Sunday, February 13th in all our services. This is an opportunity to declare your commitment to raising your child to know and love God and affirming our church family's partnership with you in that mission. If you're interested in having your child dedicated, please contact your community pastor or go to efreelethbridge.ca. Have you missed a Sunday service and you want to listen to the sermon? Or do you want to listen to the sermon while taking the dog for a walk or on your drive across town? You can now find our sermons on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search for the E-Free Lethbridge podcast. And that's all of our announcements for this week. Hope to see you in our services on Sunday.